Okay, so they enter House Valantir, or now the Electrum Knights Guild Hall, or whatever combination of words they go by. And they find Sybil swinging back and forth from the chandelier. And Doc's like, hey, how's it hanging? And Sybil's like, real funny. Get me down. And then someone made a comment about, shouldn't the succubus know how to escape from ropes? And she was like, succubus school, they teach you that. And I skipped class that day. So they cut her down, and finally she does the whole big ritual to summon Valantir.
At which point we surround, we prepare, we're buffed, we're ready, we got prepared actions.
And they just go and very quickly kill him quickly again. And he's like, damn you, Electrum Knights! Explodes.
Oh, that's good.
And now they're ready to take on the prison plane of Kassari to take down Adamarcus, because his insanity is starting to spread into the material plane. It was kind of in the corners of the game up until that point, but now we knew for sure that Adamarcus was the one causing the insanity. Or the players did. Of course I knew. Haha. Because, the book would definitely include that, right? Like how the cage rats were working the entire time to free Adamarcus, right? You think that would be a major part of the book, and they talk about it repeatedly, right? So, the angel they met up in the jungle, Nadrama, shows up with this beguilist who's in a robe, cowl pulled down over his face, bandages over his hands. And they congratulate them for all that they've done and talk about all the great deeds of the Electrum Knights. And now they're getting ready. So they use the roll-up door to go to Wacky Wizzes again.
What was the guy's name? What was the name you gave him?
Lee.
Okay.
Because, Axel, I kept thinking, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts. So, of course, when this new guy shows up, Lee. He's Axel, in disguise, brought back to life and exalted by the Electrum Dragon, in hiding his identity. And here's the reason why. Axel didn't do anything. Axel sat around. Axel started having massive amounts of jewelry put on him by Fang, because, hey, why not do something with all these jewels and pretty things that we've been picking up? Axel actually had a bank account. So, he was the richest wolf noble in the entire world, and he didn't do anything. And the Electrum Dragon liked the cut of his jib. Because a true noble shouldn't do anything and should still be rich by doing nothing. So he was like a half-dragon, anthropomorphized wolf, monk. And he was, ready to go. Which would be the only thing he does during the entire campaign.
Sean, what attack did you give him?
Oh, I gave him Wolfang Fist, because, you know what? Let's have a bit of Dragon Ball in there. This is by the time I was done with the campaign as a DM.
Alright, so we head up to the front door of the prison planet.
Wait.
What's this number?
But the Wolfang Fist, just to make sure nobody thinks I'm being a stupid DM. Player's Handbook 2. I'm being a stupid DM. Okay, but the stuff at Wacky Wizzos.
Oh, okay, I remember what we bought.
The 3 choices.
Yeah.
Because a mythical weapon, a orb of magical power, or a random box of assorted magical items, and a pull from the deck of many things.
You don't go for the pull of the deck of many things.
Yeah, really at this point, pulling from the deck of many things is like making a wish from Cubase. Everyone's smart enough to realize it's a bad idea.
It's a horrible idea.
Because something horrible is going to happen at the end of it.
Especially if you pull 7.
Yeah. So, at any rate, they thought about it. They're like, you know what? We have war magical weapons that we know what to do with, so we'll pass on that. So they go for the orb. And then Wacky Wizzes is like, and now let's take a look at what you didn't get. And he pulls out this bone cudgel. And it is the artifact of the weapon that St. Cuthbert himself wielded when he walked the earth. And the paladin and the cleric of the party were like, oh. More so Amaya, because Cuthbert was like,
I got
a few.
I got things. I don't need other things. I don't hit things.
With a side note of, we should probably buy that at some point because it is a holy relic of our church.
Yeah. But no, the argument was we have a shit ton of weapons, and weapons tend to be very player centric or like how they use them. And so it's like, you know, we have enough weapons. Let's go for the orb because that could be used by anyone, maybe.
I can't even remember what was in the box of assorted magic items, but
you didn't need it.
They went for the orb, and I decided that I'd let them have a dragon orb. Once again, I've been reading Dragonlance. What can I say? So, Doc X Laxon bonded with a silver dragon orb, and they were like hearing about all the bonuses, like, oh my word! And I'm like, you know, at this point, they're taking on a demon prince. He's a CR 27. And they're like level 18.
Oh, no, not even that. It was like 16.
16 or 17. Yeah. So, they have to fight something 10 levels. I don't mind giving them a legendary artifact at this point to help them along. However, it's noted that you communicate with people who have other dragon orbs. So, I have this tap in. And there are like some NPCs who talk to Doc. Cherry Blossom, who was this pony from the last My Little Pony D&D game that I got talked into, who ended up becoming the goddess of death at the end of it. She had a dragon orb, and she was kind of like peering in. Tivilio, the injurer of cats, who is actually from the Sabat's Storyteller's Guide, Vampire the Masquerade, my favorite NPC to run, because I had too much fun with him. He had a dragon orb, and he was talking. And then Raceland Majir was kind of talking to Doc, and they were just kind of having like a four-way conversation for a bit, being like, oh, blah, 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 cool, nice to meet you. And Raceland was like, they're just giving dragon orbs to whoever's coming around. At least it's not that Kender. And inside jokes, and Kirk's like, I don't know what he's talking about. Read more books. So that brings us to entering the prison plane of Cassari, because I skipped a chapter because I thought it was stupid. There's no reason why they'd hunt down the cage rights, and no reason why the cage rights would stay in the area. Like, more than half their number was killed by this one group of people. If I was cage right, even if I was crazy, I'd be like, haha, bye. Especially after the tree's destroyed, because there's no reason to stick around.
Fast forward to the scene.
Right. So, go into the prison plane of Cassari. I skipped a bunch of encounters because I didn't feel like it, and it was just dragging out the campaign at that point. And really, between Sybil and Nadrama, they could pinpoint where the prison was, so we can skip going through the entire plane of Cassari. They showed up, and okay, here's the party. Two paladin type characters, because Voltor was paladin-esque. A cleric of St. Cuthbert who's a celestial. An angel. A succubus. Some guy in robes wrapped up, with his hands wrapped up, because cool. Fang was walking around as a bear. A dragon scale armor, which had the wild shape feature on it.
Half dragon.
Half dragon.
What are we forgetting?
You're forgetting Doc.
And Doc.
And Doc, who is now melded with a dragon orb.
Which gives him insane bonuses, but...
oh no, dragons don't like him.
Yeah, dragons don't like a woo.
Don't forget the golem.
On the golems.
And the stone golem and the Elder Earth Elemental.
Yep.
So the guards look at them and they're just like, you know what? No. No, we're not fighting you. Keep going, keep walking. Kind of just wave them through. They go to the warden.
Nah.
The warden has been driven insane by Adamarcus. He is well aware of Adamarcus. And so he starts singing everyone he says. And then, like, as he's singing, he has this guy with this... I forget the name of the drum it is,
timpani.
But a timpani drum. And after everything, every time he stops singing, the demon has to go, bum, bum, bum. And he's just like, ugh. Kind of a little comical, but at this point, yeah. Breaks up the tension of going through crazy meta fights. And then it's like, yes, and now to get to Marcus's cage, which you are seeking out, you must fight me, lest you pass by me, and take the elevator that goes straight up. No, wait, no, that wasn't it. I'm sorry, I'm derping. He says, you must go through this prison and fight all 100 monsters within, lest you take the oversized freight elevator. And Doc's sitting there, be like, why thank you, we'll just take the elevator. And the one is like, no, for last I thought to myself, am I singing? Was that supposed to be soliloquy? In my heart I know it's supposed to be true. Meanwhile, the party's like,
let's get to the elevator now.
They all sung outfit on the elevator, because, you know what, screw it.
Freight elevator.
And then, like, I start narrating, do 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 do. And then, like, one of the characters makes the comment, this really is hell. So we get up, and they encounter, there's this huge shaft leading downwards, and there's this big winged lich demon creature wielding a huge scythe, and he introduces himself as Dark Miracle. Done with you. So that's his name, Dark Miracle. Miracle spelled in this weird, funky way, like M-Y-R-A-K-U-L. So if you read it, you might not pronounce it in your head that way. But the moment I said it around, I was like, he's like, and my name is Dark Miracle. And I'm like, I actually stop. This would work a lot better if I had my book.
You don't need it anymore.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, stupid name. We sit around and we just like, ran about the name. Finally, we have a big fight, big showdown. He gets taken down like a chump because huge party.
Yeah. And then we get, we finally have to fight our Lord of Insanity.
Yep, Adamarcus. So
who like you asked us to on a piece of paper write 3 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, what's your fear, what do you want, and who do you care for most?
Yeah.
And during this time, Doc used the Moaning Diamond to shape the stone around the area to cover the huge pit, because that was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then Adamarcus came out, and he started warping things and picking things from their mind, and shifting back between his angelic form and his demon form. And, like, he just kind of, like, pointed out things, and everyone was like, don't care.
And
Like, Ben put down for his character, he's a paladin, and I know his paladin St. Cuthbert, god of vengeance, not like a frilly, prissy, traditional, Judeo-Christian friendly god like that. He wanted a threesome with Amaya, who was played by his wife, by the way, and Sybil. He was like, no, I don't see that happening. I'm a demon lord of madness, but no, that's too crazy even for me. And he's like, what? And at this point, they all start getting suspicious of Axel because he's talking in very riddly things, and I'm just kind of rambling, just kind of stringing random words together. Because this guy is supposed to be crazy. And it gets revealed that Axel Lee is actually Axel, and he reveals himself in his wolf, like his muzzle and stuff, because he's anthropomorphized. He's a furry.
Yeah.
And he explains that the Electrum Dragon granted him this ability to come back and help out his party one last time. And they go into the battle, and they fight him. And this is a fight that actually takes a while, because he has 2 forms. He switches back and forth. And at a lot of time, he's like, now you shall see my full strength, goes into demon form, rah, fights them, and keeps switching back and forth depending on a die roll.
Yeah.
And each form had 500 hit points apiece, and it was an interesting fight. And, like, the angel side went down. And he's like, you guys have not even seen my final form! Switches. My final form was actually just my first form! And then they're like, the next hit, kill. No! My final form wasn't gonna die.
No.
What?
Well, the next hit, but next turn came to me and you're like, okay, no, poke him because he had 5 HP. And I'm like, no. I just got a new spell. I'm never gonna have a chance to use it. Angels. These my bitches now.
Yeah, angels
it's canon.
descend from the ceiling.
Yeah, because I took Summon Monster and I was like, I don't like any of these level 8 ones. I do ever want to summon angels.
Oh, by the way, Nidrama, the angel that was the protector of the Cauldron region, died during this time, and she vanished back to the celestial plane upon her death. And everyone stopped and said, "Is Sybil okay?" to make sure that their demon friend was okay, because they didn't give a damn about this angel.
So we killed him.
Yep.
He went down, which was like, hooray!
Yay!
Went back, went back to Cauldron, and someone paid us a visit.
Yep. Grisette. Grisette was my old DM, the man who I learned everything from. Tyler loved that Demon Lord. Grisette was someone who he threw in every time he could possibly find a reason for him to get there. And Grisette is actually part of the Shackled City campaign.
Okay.
Which was kind of funny because in the campaign I was playing in, Grisette was a major player that we ran into a couple of times. And then we went to Shackled City, and Anna Marcus had a bad history with them because Grisette really wanted the plane of Precipitous. And so he was kind of like folding his arms because he himself could not take control of Precipitous for whatever reason, and kind of demanded recompense. Dark Miracle actually teleported to him upon his defeat because he was this weird new type of lich that Paizo came up with, which get their powers from dark gods and nigh indestructible. Paizo. I don't like a lot of things they do, but they're still okay. But at any rate, so Dark Miracle ratted on the Electrum Knights, and Grisette was like, oh really? Let me do some research on these guys. Then like 10 minutes later, well, I did some research on them. You know what? I don't have an issue with them. I mean, neutral god. That Doc guy, he's getting... I'm waving to him because his player's off screen. But he's getting Succubus. I have Succubus in my employ. He does a lot of things that I approve of. Cool. So Grisette shows up and basically is like, I need someone to sit on that throne of Precipitous so I can claim it. Voltor goes away with him. Whatever. He goes and becomes a puppet there. And then we start narrating the after story. Axel goes back to the plane of the Electrum Dragon to live out a life of eternity and bliss in doing nothing. And he becomes the patron saint of investment banking.
Fang wanders off. Oh no, Fang does merchant stuff, right?
Yeah, Fang becomes a major merchant in the Cauldron area. Amaya and Nails get married. And they just kind of go off. Cuthbear... I keep combining Cuthbear and Cuthbert. Or Colbert. Blurred names. We've been at this for how long? Colbert ends up with Jenya somehow. Yeah. And he ends up becoming the Grand High Pope or whatever their equivalent is for the entire region. Because he took down a demon lord and did all these things. He's celestial now. Long life. Does great. Doc actually gets the most out of his backstory because he ends up marrying Sybil. So he has a succubus. He's going to have a longer life because of the dragon orb. Keeps in touch with them. Makes peace with the dragons, basically being like, getting in touch with the silver dragons, being like, yeah, you and me, I can control you, but I'm not. Because I'm not that guy. So let's have a mutual working relationship. And I'm sitting here logically, like with dragons who have an extremely long lifespan, they're probably going to be okay with that. can't get the dragon orb from him really forcefully, so working relationship where he's not enslaving them, that's good. And the king for the area mysteriously dies overnight. I'm sure Sybil had nothing to do with that, or Nails, or Laoshin, who are all friends with each other, or that powerful archmage that was off screen the entire time. So Doc ends up becoming king of the kingdom that Cauldron's in. Makes Cauldron into the new capital because with the Moaning Diamond, he can reshape and do all these things. And Sybil has the great idea of installing lava vents, so the volcano isn't going to explode ever again. So they redesign the volcano, do this, that, and the other thing. Finally, dealing with the gnolls off screen is kind of an epilogue. Grisette comes and joins up with Doc and the Electrum Knights, who've got a huge following. And Yanagu, the Demon Lord of the Gnolls, has come to the Cauldron region to finish the war that he started eons ago. Or not eons ago, but he fought a war with Surbar Spellmason. And he and his Gnoll army are going to conquer it. So Doc gets together Silver Dragons, gets together the Electrum Knights, which has become a huge, huge guild because it's the guild of the king. And as well as the military order of the Church of St. Cuthbert. Then has the demonic armies of Grisette with succubus knights and everything else. And they just plow through the demons. And Grisette and Doc tag team and take out Yanagu. So I would have never actually role-played that out because role-playing a huge, high-level war is not something I'd bother with because it'd be a lot of rolling and a lot of
bullshit.
Yeah. So the epilogue of just kind of like awesomeness, I like. And the players liked it, and it really made them feel satisfied. And that brought our campaign of the Shackled City to a close.
So that is the full explanation and story of the campaign. When I get this up, probably a couple weeks later, I'm going to throw up a video of all the players talking through the campaign, because the campaign's always different through players' eyes. And to kind of meet the talkative ones and the suicidal ones. And yeah, that'll be fun. So if you watched all this, thank you.
And you're crazy.
And yeah.
Because I would have watched this. I mean, of course I watch all your videos.
You keep praying. I'm going to turn off the camera.
Oh, better protect me and the Electrum Dragon.